Like it or not, AI is coming. It's unavoidable, unmistakable. It's the game changer, the changer of all games. Or at least, that is what big tech wants you to believe, so you can buy as many tokens as you can, so investors can put trillions and trillions of dollars into this market. Yes, it's a bubble. Yeah, it'll burst. But the technology underneath is there and it's not going away. Unity has unveiled their beta program for the Unity AI, a tool integrated with the Unity engine that allows you to write prompts to create game stuff. Characters, levels, mechanics, code, you know, a game. Several years back, I remember this joke that I made with some friends that game dev is hard and there's no create game button. A single button that you can hit and there you go, you have a game. Well, we're not quite there yet, but we are closer than ever, and it does seem somewhat unavoidable, for better or worse. Hey guys, it's Harry. I've been a game designer and producer for the past 11 years, and today we're gonna talk about a topic that continues to frustrate me. This is gonna be a very open video, and let me take some things out of the way first. I am not the biggest fan of generative AI as it currently stands. I barely use it for anything. I don't even use it for the workflow on my videos. Maybe some research here and there occasionally, not a lot. I do think it's kind of unavoidable in a way, maybe not exactly in the exact shape that we imagine it will be, but I do believe it will disrupt most markets eventually. At least markets that rely a lot on computers and technology, which is pretty much most things today. I see most people using AI already one way or another, even when they don't have a clear use case for AI. There's no clear benefit for AI usage, but people continue to try and discover what AI can do and explore the tools. You cannot blame them. Most coders I know are coding with AI, and I don't think it's going back from that at all. A same thing for image generation. I think it's gonna get bigger, better, cheaper, faster, you know the drill. But as of now, we can just speculate, follow the news, try some things out for ourselves, and see where all this will take us. And recently, Unity has announced their Unity AI tool inside the game engine. And it's only a matter of time until Unreal Engine and the others do the same. I haven't seen any other propositions that don't include generative AI inside game engines. Pretty much seems like the only path forward. Unity AI allows you to create prompts to generate various game assets that you can then refine, iterate on, and create your game from there. All by talking in natural language with an AI agent. Pure science fiction stuff. Naturally, as of now, it's flawed, buggy, and it's most likely not gonna generate shippable material unless you're doing something very amateur and dirty. And its biggest use case for the moment is more rapid prototyping and iteration than anything. But it's there, it's here. Not long ago, we were imagining what shape would that be inside game engines, how you would use directly AI to create games. And now we know. And I have to say that it's kind of similar to the science fiction that I was envisioning, at least for the first version of that. If we extrapolate just a couple of years into the future, a couple of newer versions of Unity AI, it's very safe to say that it'll get bigger, better, faster, you'll get more accurate with asset generation or code generation. I think that's a pretty safe assumption. And when it does, you won't need a designer, a programmer, and an artist getting together to create a prototype of a game, or maybe even going some levels deeper than that. Maybe you need some more people for the final shippable product, but one or two people might be able to get even a vertical slice to then look for a publisher or for funding. Maybe getting your campaign on Kickstarter without having to develop 80% of your game up front, which is kind of what's happening right now. That might actually be interesting because there's a lot of flaws in the pipeline for game development and publishing, and AI could theoretically solve a lot of those issues. So that would be beneficial. That would be interesting to see. I remember that I was actually stoked for the further development of AI. Several years back, I was there coding my own AIs in Unreal Engine using behavior trees. Yeah, I know, it's not the most impressive thing of all, but I was always fascinated by the fact that you could create commands for NPC units inside the game that would be more and more complex, making them act autonomously. That was quite cool. I had a deep interest in AI during those days. But then something fundamentally changed. AI took a leap bigger than anybody could have expected. And then came ChatGPT, and later on Gemini, Claude, Grok, and all of the others. I remember that we thought that AI would take a long, long time to learn how to create believable images and art. Like it or not, it didn't. Whether you think AI art is true art or not, it's there. And it's technically better and faster than 99.9% of all artists in the world. It performs better technically in the outlines, the rendering, lighting composition, all of it. And I mean, you can argue that is stealing from other artists, that it doesn't create anything new, only copies the work from other and better people. And honestly, to that, I would argue, don't we all? I have been working with artists for 10 years. I was a 3D artist myself back in the day. When we wanted to create a character, the first thing that we did was to put together a mood board, a board of references, photos, paintings, classic Greek sculptures, and yes, a lot of other artists' work. We look at them, we copy them. I can say that I want this exact boot with that other jacket for my character, but then I'll add a twist and make them more pointy or more rounded or a different style, and I iterate from there. That is how every single artist in the world works, at least most of the time for most of their careers. Even when you see an artist working and painting something from the top of their heads, they didn't do that for the whole of their studies. They had a lot of references and practice and all of that. They were looking to other artists, to other photos and materials. That's natural. That is expected. Unity AI allows you to prompt the tool to create scripts, sprites, assets, pretty much anything. And it's naturally better integrated to Unity than other tools, so the interface is much smoother, even though it's still in beta, so you can expect a lot of bugs and mishaps. But then every time we have those new developments, we see people saying, okay, but this is terrible. I generated animations from a prompt and it's looking terrible. I'm trying to fix it with several prompts and I cannot get it to work. And yeah, okay, that's true. But let's read that phrase again, shall we? So you generated entire animations from a text prompt. You typed words on your computer and it spat a full 3D character with animations in like 15 seconds. Well, I have a background in 3D art and animation, and I vividly remember opening up Autodesk Maya and modeling vertex by vertex, extruding faces and more faces out of a 3D cube to create chairs and tables and the face of a character, spending hours on modeling just to realize it was really crappy and I would have to start all over again. And now you type words on your keyboard and the AI creates a character for you. You can ask it to come up with a dozen different concepts, then you can choose one of them and have it generate a 3D character. Game ready, rigged, skinned. Have we talked about that yet? Rigging and skinning? That's the process of creating the skeleton that goes inside your character's body and linking it to the skin, to the digital skin of your character so you can control the model for animations. I love that process. I have done it several times over, but it used to be laborious and very technical. And now you say the word and it's done. Pretty much. I mean, it's like being able to fly with a jetpack from South America to North America and then complaining that you cannot get to Europe or China in a single burst. All of this technology is incredible, groundbreaking, and also awful in a way. I see people arguing that the visuals are still bad, the code is broken, and that's why AI will never replace workers. Well, you sure you want to use that logic? Do we have to revisit Will Smith's video eating spaghetti just a couple years ago, I think 2023 or something, and then compare it to what we have today? So the proposed new flow of work is that pretty much one game designer can work together with the AI to create entire prototypes, scripts, assets, text, writing whole dialogues and narrative. AI is pretty much very competent already at doing that. And I'd argue it's not only prototypes, small games that will get bigger and bigger every year. Releasing simple or crappy games has never been a shameful act in the market. Hyper-casual slops were the main thing on mobile just a couple years back. And I think it's pretty safe to assume that the same will happen here with AI quite soon, if it's not happening already. Once again, we can only speculate, follow the news, test things out for ourselves to see what's useful or not. But to me, this whole AI process is taking a toll. It's taking a very important thing out of our hands, of the developers. Learning. We are in this generation where people have to learn less and less. Everything's becoming automated, ready to go in a single prompt, or maybe a couple of prompts, which take 10 minutes total. In a few years, you most likely will not have to learn how to code, how to paint, how to write dialogue, how to model and animate characters, because you'll never be as effective as AI. So what will you learn? Prompting? That's it? Well, I don't know. The message that I would send with this video is that, to me, learning is still the most important thing if you want to be good at anything. Even if technology advances to the point that most of these fields get covered by AI agents, you still need to learn continuously. And I would be particularly careful with the younger generation that's starting to learn already with AI. They never had to learn things without AI, and that can be very concerning. I don't blame Unity for taking that step. It's kind of the most natural step they could ever take. Others will most likely follow, and a lot of people will try Unity AI, maybe find some good workflow there, and it might even make some projects viable from smaller teams that would otherwise not see the light of day. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. This is definitely not the last video that I'm gonna do on this subject. So leave in the comments below, what AI tools are you using? What's the workflow that you're finding more useful to you? Are you excited about the new tools? Are you using them already? Are you expecting more from Unity or Unreal or Godot or whatnot? Leave in the comments below. Leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you guys next time.